Thank you guys for joining. We're getting ready to start the podcast in just a few minutes here. While I'm doing this, you guys, Mr. Powell, how are you, sir? While I'm doing this, if you guys could do this for me, go ahead, especially the superstars here, if you can go ahead and share this. That way we can get as many people, as many eyes on this podcast as soon as possible. That way we can go ahead and get started. We have a really good show here lined up for you guys tonight. Sandy Stars, how are you, ma'am? Always a pleasure to hear from you and see you as well. Jimmy Shadow, thank you for joining the podcast tonight, sir. I have Juice James or Drew Gessner here. All right. The time is 7:05. We'll get started in a couple minutes here. We'll give a few minutes for a little bit of a bigger audience to join, and then we'll jump right in here. We're going to start with the power rankings, and we'll go over last night's Bloodlust. And everything is good, man. It's good to hear from you, bro. We got to link up soon. Bella Roberts is here. Austin Eric, thank you for joining the podcast as well, sir. Have a pretty good show lined up for you guys tonight. It's not anything long and drawn out, unless you guys make it that way. But we have a pretty decent show for you guys tonight. Shouldn't take too long. We'll get started in just a few moments here. Tony Mercer is here. The Lunatic is here. Thank you guys for joining the podcast. We have just a few moments before we get started here. Mercer is here. All rise. I don't know about that. I think I'll hold my seat on that one. But glad you guys are here. And we have a couple of special guests lined up for you guys tonight. We have Bella Roberts. We have Austin Eric. Athena is here. Thank you. We have Jimmy Shadow here. And we have, we're expecting to hear from King Franchise as well. So we have a pretty decent show lined up for you guys tonight. And I guess we can go ahead and get started here. I guess we can start with the power rankings. Actually, first of all, let me officially welcome you guys to the Blacklist. If we have any outside or people that are outside of the league watching, in case you don't know what we're doing here, we are the #1 E-Federation in the world. I am the #1 pick to the Takedown brand. I am the face of the Steel Stable. I am the recipient of the 2017 MVP Award. I am the recipient of the 2017 Extreme Moment of the Year. I'm the recipient of the 2017 Match of the Year, 2017 Podcast of the Year. All those great things. I could go on and on and on. But as we all know, this podcast is not about me. This podcast is about you guys. Drew Gessner, I'm doing just fine, sir. Thank you for joining the podcast. Tell the kids I said hi. Mercer has a wedding soon from what I'm looking at here. Who's the bride, Mercer? I would really like to know. Now, we're going to get started here. First thing we're going to do is going to go over the power rankings. And actually, before I do the power rankings, I want to say this. Bella Roberts, she did her very first, and we're going to go over this later in the show as well, but she did her first podcast on Saturday. And, you know, going back and looking at the ratings in the comments, she did an awesome job. So, being that I am the #1 podcast, I'd like to say congratulations, Bella, on doing a great job with your podcast. We look forward to hearing and seeing more of you in the future. Okay, let's start with the power rankings. Takedown's power rankings as of last night. Coming in at number 10 is Athena. Coming in at number 9 is King Russell. We know he had a big, huge win last night. Coming in at number 8, Juice James, who also had a huge win last night. Coming in number 7, Austin Eric. Number 6, Beard Money, who have lost to the Keepers on several occasions, if I can just throw that little bit in there. Number 5, Mark and Garrett of the Bullet Club, who as of last night became number 1 contenders, and they look to take on the Keepers at Over the Top this Sunday. Coming in number 4, Brandon Dixon. Number 3, Sandy Stars. Number 2, yours truly, Mr. Black. Number 1, Matt A-Star, the World Heavyweight Champion. I'd also like to say this. I know that I'm the bad guy, but I like to be as fair and politically correct as possible on my podcast. So I like to, do my best to try to keep everything in line and keep it fair. But again, let me go over these power rankings real quick one more time. Athena coming in at number 10. She took a tough loss last night. Number 9 coming in is King Russell, who pinned Corey Heck. I would really like to have Corey Heck here in this podcast tonight. It'd be good to hear from him. Coming in number 8, Juice James. Number 7, Austin Eric. Number 6, Beard Money. Number 5, Mark and Garrett of the Bullet Club, who are now number 1 contenders. Number 4, Brandon Dixon. Number 3, Sandy Stars. Number 2, Mr. Black. Number 1, Matt A-Star. I guess now is a good time to let you guys know that we do have a new sponsor for the Blacklist. And you guys are going to enjoy this one, because being that I am the Star Maker, the only fitting sponsor for the Blacklist would be Star Crunch. So make sure you guys pick up that. Anyhow, back to last night's takedown. It's a very interesting night. The show opened up with a triple threat match featuring Matt A-Star, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus King Russell versus Corey Heck. Now, a lot of people would say that the most impressive thing about this match was that, and again, this is just my opinion, a lot of people would say that the most impressive thing about this match was that Franchise won the match. And although he didn't pin the champion, I would have to agree with the fact that the most important thing about this match was that Franchise was able to win, because if you guys are not aware of this, this was Franchise's first match, and technically his first match in Season 3, although he did win the King of the Ring tournament. This is actually the first match. And to go out and win a triple threat match against someone like Corey Heck, and then someone like, or actually against the World Heavyweight Champion Matt A-Star, it's a pretty big deal. Juice James was not at all in the power rankings on last week, but he's in the 8th spot this week. He won a huge match against, what is this, Mr. Black? I'm having trouble choosing a bride. I don't know if I want Sandy or Bella. They are both beautiful. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out, Mercer. I'm sure you'll figure it out. What was I saying here? Yeah, Juice James was not in the top 10 power rankings last week, but after beating Joshua last night, and what happened, and what actually is turned out to be match of the night. So congratulations to Juice James and Joshua for the top-notch match that you guys put on. 5-star match in my opinion, which was also the match of the night. Kong made a splash last night in this match as well. He attacked Joshua after the match, and if you guys watch, I'm sure you could see the aftermath and what took place there. Hang on a second. We got about 2 minutes. We're going to get our first guest on. Our first guest is going to be Bella Roberts. About 2 minutes, we'll get her on the line. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Bear with me. A little bit of an interference there. I'm glad you guys are still here. Now, as I was saying, in just a few moments here, we're going to get Bella on the line. We got about 1 minute now before we get her on. Superstar Showcase. Crowning two brand new champions tomorrow, brand new titles tomorrow, and we're going to be crowning those guys tomorrow. So tomorrow night is going to be a big deal, no pun intended, Hunter, for two superstars in particular. whoever manages to win these tournaments, actually 3 because we have a women's match tomorrow as well. But nonetheless, Superstar Showcase tomorrow is going to be awesome. Hope all you guys are watching and in attendance. It is 7:15. I'm going to attempt to get my first guest on the line here, so bear with me for just a moment. One of these podcasts is
Hello.
Bella Roberts.
Good evening, everybody.
How are you,
I'm
man?
good. How are you?
Absolutely marvelous. It is great to hear from you and great to see you always.
Thank you. Likewise.
Had a few questions. First of all, I wanted to address the fact that you did your very first podcast on Saturday. Congratulations, you did an awesome job.
Thank you.
The ratings were through the roof. I personally, I didn't know that you were going to do a great job.
Thank you.
So from me to you, you are very welcome. From me to you, congratulations. And you have here in the chat addressing you as their queen.
Thank you.
I don't know what that.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you to you and to everybody in the 3Dub for making that possible. If you guys didn't participate, I wouldn't have made those ratings. So, you know, it was a group effort. Thanks, guys.
Now, let me ask you, are you aware that you have a match tomorrow night on Superstar Showcase?
I was not aware, but that's all right. I'm always prepared, so I'll be ready.
Okay, so I have an email here from the board of directors that says you are going to be taking on Harper Blair in an Extreme Rules match tomorrow night. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are it's about time. It is about time. What is she? She's what, the first lady of the Church of Nothing? Yeah, it's time to get rid of all these nonsense factions and all their shenanigans. No more churches, no more circuses. All this needs to be packed up and sent away. So yeah, send her. It's about time she find out how we really get things done over on Bloodlust.
Now, I'm asking this because I hear you talk about the churches and the circuses.
Yes.
What do you guys about the purge? Rumblings of the purge. What's going on?
Well, that's pretty much the foundation of the purge. Like, a lot of things need to change on Bloodlust. I mean, not just on Bloodlust and 3Dub overall, but you know, you got to start somewhere. So might as well start at home. And yeah, some things, you know, need to be cleansed so that we can start anew and give Bloodlust a new face and let it be the show that it's meant to be.
Well, just let me give you a heads up because I have Salvio here saying don't say nothing. But Salvio, it's actually don't say anything. I've been trying to work with you with your grammar, but you're really letting me down here. It's don't say anything, not don't say nothing. That's bad. You don't do that. Anyhow, Sunday, Over the Top.
Yes.
You have a triple threat match, which will be your first opportunity at the Women's Extreme World Heavyweight Championship. Give me your thoughts.
There's only one thought, and that's the belt is mine. It's always been a fact, and it's just my time to show and prove. So I hope everybody comes to see me put these two has-beens away, and they can put all their quarrels and dreams of a belt aside, because the queen needs a belt to match. And I still need my crown back, by the way. I don't know who has it, but I know you guys are all listening. I need my crown back, like ASAP.
Now, we know that the main event for, although we have a couple of championships on the line and whatnot, the real main event, the real reason everyone is going to be watching Sunday is going to be the Over the Top Rumble. Do you have any prediction as far as who is going to win this Rumble?
I don't know. I really can't make a prediction because everybody has got a battery in their back right now. So I'm really just excited to come and, you know, be a spectator. Once I have my belt, you know, I'll be really proud to sit ringside. And yeah, I really can't pick a favorite this time. This is the first time I think it's anybody's game.
Now that being said, the women are also having a 10-woman battle royal.
Yes.
Is there anyone that you would like to see come out on top in this match? strictly for competition purposes, or just someone that you like or anything like that?
Um, you know who I respect. I respect Miss Sandy and I respect Miss Athena. So, girls, pull it through. Somebody. I mean, if one of these new girls can maybe pull up their big girl underwear and show and prove and actually show that there's some other existing competition, maybe I'll remember their names. But for now, those are the only two people that I know.
Now I got Mercy here saying, marry him if you want your crown back.
um, you know what? As a matter of fact, do I? Let me see something here. I think I'm gonna have to borrow my princess's crown, and this will have to do for now if that's the case, because I think I'd rather do with this than that.
Well, Mercy, I think that's gonna be a no.
Hard. That's a
Uh,
hard no. Sorry. Oh
all
man.
right. Well, ma'am, it is a pleasure to have you on as
It is
always.
always a pleasure to be
Now,
here.
before I let you go,
hmm
when will we get another episode of the Queen's Court?
Um, well, I would like to say I'll be back next Saturday, but being the queen with my training and planning to be the new Extreme Women's Champion and all that stuff, I do have a lot of things going on. So I think maybe for now we might make this a little bi-weekly event, and then once I've secured my place over at Bloodlust, we can make it a weekly thing.
Okay, I like that. Now, um, this is a question that I'm going to ask everyone that comes on the show tonight.
hmm
Who is in your Mount Rushmore? Your three dub Mount Rushmore.
Well, obviously.
And see, I want to use this platform to give everyone um, a different perspective as far as seeing the business and seeing the company through your eyes.
hmm
Who is in your three dub Mount Rushmore?
um, I'll answer this question if if you'll give me an exception where I can pick five instead of four. If I can pick five, I'm good for it.
Hey, whatever floats
Okay,
your
cool.
boat.
So obviously I'd be there. Then I would have the right wing because that is my tag team extraordinaires. Yours truly, of course, would have to be there. Gotta have the Star Maker. And this might come as a surprise, but a new favorite, Corey Heck, would have to be up there.
Interesting.
Yes, a new
Interesting. Very,
favorite.
very interesting.
I would have Corey Heck up there.
Okay.
I am digging his swag lately.
Interesting.
Yes.
No Savio. Interesting.
um,
Interesting.
I don't know. Let's see how this plays out with me getting my crown back, and maybe he'll win himself back in my favor.
Hmm. Very, very interesting, if I say so myself. Okay, well, I'm not going to waste any more of your time, ma'am. I do appreciate you being on the show
Thank
tonight.
you so much
It
for
is a
having
pleasure,
me.
as always.
Likewise.
My pleasure. And we will see and talk to you
Yes,
soon.
you will. Everybody see me on Friday on Bloodlust and next Sunday at Over the Top. See me come win my belt.
Don't forget about tomorrow night.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Queen of the Ring, Bella Roberts. And next, I am going to have Mr. Austin Eric here. So if you guys bear with me, I'm going to get Austin Eric on the line here. Now, while I can have you guys here that are still commenting on the live video, I would like for you guys to do me a favor. And, okay, hang on a minute. I got a call coming through here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure. I'm just hoping these come through at the same time I'm saying this. Savio! Welcome to the podcast, sir. Welcome to the Blacklist.
How you doing, Mr. Black?
I am absolutely splendiferous, sir. More importantly, how are you?
I'm good. You know, you talk to the board of directors.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Have you talked to the board of directors?
Have I talked to the board of directors? What are the chances of that?
You think you can get them in here?
I can see if I can get a representative. Let me see who I have here. Since Mercer is doing most of the talking, why don't you send out a message while you're here and see if you can get a representative for the board of directors. We'll make Mercer my temporary assistant for today. Now, while we're waiting to get a response from a representative for the board of directors, can you give me a little bit of insight on this purge thing I keep hearing and seeing?
Purge. Let me just say one word. Go to chaos and destruction.
And what's your focus? What are you focusing on here?
It's focused on basically getting at the board of directors for like what happened last year with me and also you, how the board of directors they put us down and they go back to their headquarters and they act like we're not gonna do nothing. No, we're tired and it's time to take over.
Mm-hmm. So your objective is solely to take down the board of directors, is that correct?
Take down the board of directors and take over 3Dub.
Now, that being said, the board of directors has just joined the podcast. I swear the Blacklist is where things happen. I swear it is.
Board of directors. I still have a question for you. What was that Terry did last week after my match with Darius, coming out having me defend my title against somebody I don't even know? Come on, board of directors.
So, board of directors, that question is addressed to you about having Salvio defend his title against someone. Was it a newcomer?
Newcomer after another match I had. So basically, they're going to have me defend my title damn near every week.
Okay. So do you believe that the board of directors is trying to cause you to lose your title?
Yes. Because you think, how do I see? That's what I wanted to say. How do I think my title run is easy when I just won my title at the end of last season? So how is my title run easy?
Okay, so here's the board of directors. They're saying, so we would like to make it a little more difficult for you. We know you like a challenge.
That wasn't a challenge. Mr. Black, you are a challenge. I don't know who the hell that was.
I'm no challenge. I'm an immovable object.
I don't know if they got somebody out the audience for me to face, or I don't know, but that wasn't a challenge.
Interesting. Well, see, here's what I don't understand about this purge and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Right, hang on, before I get to that. Board of directors saying, you mentioned it yourself. You said it was easy. You said it was a piece of cake. Well, this is the board of directors. We'll have your cake, Savio.
And I ate that cake. The person has been defeated.
Okay, so now allow me to say this. This is what I don't understand about the purge. You know, you have this what seems to be a personal vendetta against the board of directors. Yet,
so do you.
Given, yes, I do, but I have reason. You're a champion already.
Yeah.
Now, with everything that I've done, all the hoops that I've jumped through, again, I have never been given a title shot at any title.
Well, you should have a title shot.
I'm sorry?
You're fighting. I'm the voice of the voiceless, so we're fighting for people like you.
I fight my own battles.
You fight
my own battles. Now, I will say this. Once I heard you talking, and I heard Jimmy Shadow talking, and I heard the Dutch Nightmare talking, and I see you guys starting to build traction. Hang on, I got a message from the board of directors that says, you have been impressive, nonetheless, but we don't want being a champion seen easy for you. We don't want it to seem easy for you.
Easy. Since I've been on Bloodlust, it hasn't been easy. Matter of fact, since I've been on Bloodlust, I've been in the power rankings, top 5 every week.
Here's a point. Here's a point.
Since I came back, my win-loss record is phenomenal.
Okay, now let me ask another question. You know, I like to ask the hard-hitting questions here on Blacklist. So you don't have to answer if you don't want to. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to. But I would like to know, is there any truth? A couple of weeks back, maybe about a month ago, there were some rumblings that you were considering retiring. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, it is. It was true.
And is there any particular reason? Like, for example, we see that Kong's getting ready to retire on Sunday. His last match will be, but we know that it's because of health reasons. You know, are you 100%? Well, I got somebody here that's saying that you're the greatest of all times.
I'm not going to say.
He must have never seen a match of mine.
I'm not going to say I'm the greatest of all time, but I can say I'm in 3Dubs top 10. I'm not going to say the greatest of all time. I only been here for what? February makes a year, so.
Now before we address the last question, being that you said that about the top 10 in the whole, now I'm going to ask the same question I asked Bella. Who is in your 3Dub Mount Rushmore?
I could say Justin, you.
Looney Tunes?
Huh?
You talking about Looney Tunes?
Oh my God. Looney Tunes. I'm not gonna put myself up there.
Nutty Buddy, brought to you by the Lunatic.
That's messed up. That's messed up.
Okay, Mount Rushmore.
4 people. You, Justin, Bella, and Ryan.
Ryan Hills. The Beardless Wonder.
The Beardless Wonder.
Who have lost time and time again to the keepers.
Hey, I see something in him. He'll pull through. He just gotta, you know. You always gotta start somewhere.
You see, one of the major issues that I have with Ryan Hills, and I hit on this last season as well, he is never focused. You know, for example, you're basically calling me out and addressing me today. I don't wrestle in the tag team division. You just lost the #1 contender spot, so why are you addressing me? Shouldn't you be addressing the people that just beat you? This is one of the issues that I have with Ryan. You know, you talk all this talk about the still stable, when Bullet Club just come out and whooped your ass, but you don't say anything to the Bullet Club. And this is, in my opinion, until Beard Money gets focused, they will never be back on top. That's just my opinion.
Right.
Now, I think one of the major keys for success in season 3 for any superstar is going to be focus.
Yeah, focus.
Now, in my opinion, you look at like guys who have done a complete turnaround. For example, when it comes down to the Bullet Club, you look at TJ Youngblood. Although I'm not a fan of the Bullet Club, this is a completely different guy than you saw last year. This guy is focused. He's already he was in the King of the Ring tournament. He was in the tournament for the European title. He just had a match last night against Brandon Dixon for the international title. This is a completely different guy that we're looking at. So I believe that being focused is going to play a big part for anybody when it comes down to season 3. And I said that to say this. I can see that you are focused. I can see that Shadow is focused. I can see that the Dutch Nightmare focused. Whatever it is that you guys are doing, I can see the wheels turning. You know, you understand what I mean?
Somebody please shut Mercer. Oh my God. He's like fucking Nets. It's just annoying as fuck.
Well, I tell you what.
You always have to have an underdog under your wing, so you'll never know what that person might do this season. His season might start off rough, but it might end great.
Now, I have a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was just business. I have a personal question, if you don't mind. And again, like I said before, you don't have to answer, but it's just a personal question that I'd like to ask. I see that Bella Roberts has joined forces with you.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to know, the fans here on the Blacklist, the listeners, we're all curious to know, what is it that drawed you to Bella?
Like, I felt like, not for myself, but for me, like, we need a female by our side. We basically, like, it's a lot, but we don't see other females on Bloodlust that's dominant like her.
She is the 10th wonder of the world.
Yes, she is. And
Okay.
she's the queen.
That's very true. Very true. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have any predictions when it comes down to the over-the-top Rumble? Speaking of Ryan Hills, the beardless wonder, do you have any predictions for over-the-top this weekend?
Any predictions? Oh my God, it is so hard. I don't have any predictions right now.
Okay, let me throw this out there. Matt A-Star versus Joshua for the World Heavyweight Championship. Any predictions?
I'll take Matt A-Star over that. I think I got Justin retaining his title.
Juice James versus Kong.
Of course, I got Bella winning. And for the Rumble, that's going to be hard. 30 people. People with a lot of talent is in there. So you don't know who's going to win or
not. Juice James versus Kong.
I really don't care about that, man. It's like a throw-in for me. But I think Carl will defeat Juice James on his last match.
Okay. Now, any predictions as far as the United States Championship? And as a matter of fact, let's just stick with the United States Championship, Ben. That's on your brand. Any predictions on who you think will win this title? We have a new champion. Let me give you the rundown just in case you're unaware. We have a new champion that's going to be crowned tomorrow. We have 2 matches that are going to take place. You have Darius versus Malachi. The winner of this match will go on to face the winner of Chino versus Jamar versus Outcast.
So we crown a champion tomorrow. Then we crown a champion.
There's going to be 2 matches. There's going to be 2 matches. No. This has nothing to do with over the top. This is just for the United States Championship tomorrow.
Oh, it's on the little throw-off brand, Superstar Showcase.
Correct.
Oh. I don't know. Is that the brand for like the newcomers or something?
No.
Nope.
No. It's a, well, for example, the which title are you carrying?
Extreme TV title.
Right. It's just like the Extreme TV title, international title, which is a mid-card title.
Right.
The United States Championship and European Championship, they're going to be undercard title.
I know. Okay. So I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with it. I probably have seen an episode or two.
Hmm.
So I might go look back and see how everything turns out.
Okay. So let me go this route for you. As far as the takedown on a European title, we have Mercer versus Hunter. Can you pick a winner there?
I don't know. I've seen only seen a couple of like one or two Mercy's match, one or two Hunters match. They pretty even in the ring to me. So 50-50, I don't know.
Okay.
There, no
All right.
winner.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get one of the I'm going to get one of the superstars that are actually in this tournament. I'm going to get them on the line. Let's get some predictions from them.
Okay.
Do you have a match Sunday over the top? Do you have a match? Now that's a reason to have an issue with the board of directors.
Yeah, if I don't have a match, then I'm going to be in the Rumble.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it.
What's better
All
than
right, I got
Curry?
another call coming in here. I have one more call. Let me take this other call here.
Okay.
Thank you for being on, sir.
No, no problem, Mr. Black.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Savio, current Extreme Television champion. Up next, I have none other than Tony Mercer.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mercer, how are you tonight?
I'm good.
That's great. So let's jump right in here. You are not in the top 10 power rankings,
Yeah, that's messed up.
sir.
That's messed up.
Well, you know the objective of climbing the power rankings, you actually have to win some matches. Now, I will say this. I like what you and Savage have going on here, and because there's a mean streak that's coming out of nowhere. And
Yes.
you know, I like what you guys are doing here, and I believe that you having Savage alongside of you is going to do you in particular is going to benefit you. I see that you guys are just now starting to mesh. You guys are just now starting to click.
Correct.
And give me a little bit of a background with you and Savage. How did you guys meet?
You know, we used to, you know, we used to be in like this little school together, and like we kind of grew up together, but then we kind of fell off. But we both were wrestling fans. So after I found out that he
Right.
was coming to wrestling, after I found out.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask the same question that I've been asking everyone else because I have Austin Eric here who's ready to get on the line. Um, give me, well, first of all, let me address this because you are in the tournament for tomorrow. It's going to be you versus Hunter. The winner of that match is going to take on the winner of Austin Eric versus Marco. Um, tell us or make us believe that you're going to win this new title tomorrow. Let's just say that.
I'm gonna win. That's a guaranteed win, and I don't need no bodyguard. As long as ain't nobody running my match, I'm gonna get the job done, and I'm gonna know I'm gonna be the new European champ.
So that being said, you're capable of beating one of the biggest men in the history of this league. You're capable of beating him one on one.
Yes,
What am I talking to your arm?
me and Hunter are not on the same level.
I'm sorry, say it again. You say you and Hunter are not on the same
Me and
level.
Hunter are not on the same level.
And what's the difference between you and Hunter, if I might ask you?
I actually want to win the match. Hunter cheats to win the match. He's gonna have the church behind his back, and I'm not gonna need anybody behind my back to win.
Now, I will say this. I've wrestled Hunter. I am undefeated against him, but I've never seen Hunter cheat. Now, I will say this: don't take him lightly. He
Correct.
he's a big guy, man. He can get the job done. So that's just my bit of advice to you. Hunter is a lot of people sleep on him. A lot of people talk negatively about him. A lot of people hate on Hunter, but he's a big guy. You know, I'm no fan of. I have the King franchise here. I'm no fan of the church at all. But Hunter, he can get the job done. Don't sleep on him. That would be my advice.
As I said, big or small, or tall or little, I'm gonna get the job done, no matter what I gotta do.
By any means necessary. Is that what you're
By any
saying?
means necessary.
Okay, I can dig that response.
Is my queen Bella in here? Oh yes, she's in here.
Bella?
Yes.
I believe Bella is still listening. Now, give me your Mount Rushmore of 3Dub.
I have to go with you, Mr. Black. I have to go with Bella Roberts. And then I have to go with, I hate to say it, but I have to go with Justin.
Okay, you got one more.
And I have to go with Brian, that guy.
Savio.
Yeah.
You putting Savio in your Mount Rushmore?
Yes.
Interesting. Now, I would like to know, for future references, what you guys are basing this off of. And I say that because no one has put Matt 8 Star on the 3Dub so far. And Matt 8 Star, in my opinion, although we don't see eye to eye on just about anything at all, you know, he's carried the torch since I've been here. And he has been the epitome of what a champion is supposed to be from the day that I walked in this league. I respect his wrestling ability. You know, like I said, we are at a point now where we don't see eye to eye when it comes down to things. But I do respect his wrestling ability. I respect his character as a man sometimes. But I do believe that when it comes down to wrestling ability, I do believe that when it comes down to what a champion is supposed to be and the way that a champion is supposed to carry themselves, I believe that he epitomizes what a champion is.
Correct.
Okay. Now, do you have any predictions for the Over the Top Rumble? I know that you're in the Rumble. Now, it would be a hell of a week if you were to win this title tomorrow and then you go to the Royal Rumble and win as well.
You know, I gotta save myself. You know,
If it comes down to you and Savage,
yes. If it comes down to me and Savage, tag team partnership, all that's gonna have to go out the window, because at the end of the day, that's a bigger goal, winning the Over the Top.
okay, I can dig that. All right, so do appreciate you being on. Right here, I'm going to get Austin Eric on the line. So I do appreciate you being on, sir. I wish you the best of luck in your match tomorrow. All right, Austin Eric, you are up, my friend. Let's see if we can get Austin Eric on the line here, guys. Bear with me for just a moment. And it shouldn't take long at all here. Actually, it won't let me add. Austin Eric, if you are there, go ahead and give me a call, sir. For some reason, it won't let me add you to the call list. If Austin Eric is unable to call in or unable to join, the line is open for anyone who would like to do so at this time. I would really love to talk to him because I had a few specifics that I wanted to go over with him. But let me also say this. We are, as I've said before, witnessing a revolution in the women's division. And I believe that it's because of people, and I'm not biased, but I believe that's a fact. I believe that Athena sparked the revolution in the women's division. Although Sandy Stars was here first, Sandy Stars didn't have anyone to compete with. But sure enough, here comes Athena, and it sparks the revolution that you see in the women's division today. And then here comes Bella Roberts. And I believe I may have told them this before, but I believe Bella Roberts, Athena, and Sandy Stars, they are what Triple H, The Rock, and Stone Cold were to the Attitude Era. Again, that's just my opinion. And I believe that we are going to continue to see them do awesome things and continue to see them carry the women's division in places that it has yet to go. And I for one, am looking forward to seeing them do this. Over the Top is Sunday. Okay, so apparently Austin Eric is unavailable. King Russell Franchise, if you are available, could you please go ahead and give us a call? We have been up for almost an hour here, so we're going to get ready to wrap this one up pretty soon here. But before I do, I'd like to give everyone that wants to call in or likes to have some airtime time to do so. I got a couple calls coming in here now. And all right, so we were unable to get Austin Eric, but right here we have another in the King himself.
Hello, brothers
King
and
Franchise.
brothers and sisters. I greet you in the greatest name of the American spirit that gives everybody the spirit, the power to do amazing things. Hello, Mr. Black. You notice I did not call you the charlatan because as a king, I am trying to be a little bit more civilized. So I will not call you by the nickname that you deserve to be called. I will for once show you the respect that you deserve.
You know what?
Hello? Hello?
Okay, bear with me. That was Austin Eric trying to call in. If he's available, then he needs to chime in on here in the FaceTime. Anyhow, as I was saying, King Franchise. Haven't spoken in so long that I almost forgot how annoying the sound of your voice is.
There you go again. You just finding new ways to hate. Yeah, love to hate when people find success. The fact that I am a king, the fact that I earned it, the fact that the American spirit has given me authority to be king of the 3-Dub Nation. You should be happy. The ratings on this show are about to go up because of my greatness. I got the phones ringing off the hook because I am the busiest man. I am overseeing the kingdom and overseeing the church.
Right. Well, I'll say this. As I said before, I'm not biased. I try to be as fair as possible on the Blacklist. So although I have not done this so in the league, I would like to formally congratulate you on winning King of the Ring. It is a hell of an accomplishment. I will say this. The only reason that you won is because I was not in the tournament.
There you go.
That being said, I'm not taking anything from you. Congratulations nonetheless.
You know, I will take that compliment coming from you. You are a worthy competitor. And hopefully one day we will meet again and have another match of the year that people will be talking about for years.
Oh, I'm sure we will definitely meet again somewhere down the line. Now, I want to ask the same questions that I've asked to some of the other superstars here. Number one question that I'd like to ask, who is on your 3-Dub Mount Rushmore?
You know, given this thought lately, I got to be honest. You've made a point. Matt 8-Star has not been mentioned by anybody, but yet I put him on top of the list because he has shown the world that you can be a courageous champion. He has done it with style and class. And even though, as you've seen over the past couple of weeks, he has not given me the respect that is deserved to a king, he has failed to honor a royal decree that I told him to stay away from the match last night. And he suffered the biggest loss. And I hope the board was watching, because once he gets through over the top, I want my shot at the title. But I'll even say this, I would put you on that list because I have wrestled you. You are the hardest man to get a hold on. You find ways where there's no ways. You leave me upset sometimes the way that you wrestle. But then on the third, I wouldn't even put a wrestler. I would put the American spirit, because the American spirit has given me the power to lead the church to the glory that you see today. We are on the precipice of the golden age of the American spirit. And when that happens, the crusades will begin and gold will fill the altar of the American spirit.
Now, give me your personal thoughts on Corey Heck.
Oh boy.
Wait, before you answer that, before you go there, have a message from the board of directors that says you are in line for a title, Mr. King. By winning King of the Ring, you have placed yourself in the first spot of the contention bill.
See, this is what I've been talking about. People, since the day I walked into 3-Dub, have been saying, franchise, you cannot get the job done. You cannot be the man that you claim to be. The American spirit is a false prophet. And day after day after day, I prove the haters wrong. And the King of the Ring tournament goes to prove that I've been true, that I've been saying the truth all along, that with the American spirit behind me, 100%, I can do amazing things.
Well, but now before we move on, let me also say this. Those same things that you're saying that you've been told from the day that you've been in the company, I have the screenshots. Those same things you told me, that I would never be good enough, that I would never reach the.
I got it. You break it up.
Bear with it. That's.
See,
and if for some reason he's
trying to take all my time. He had his opportunity to have a shot. In fact, he had his opportunity in the church to be a true leader. The Spirit gave him the tools. He was the deacon. He was the man who was going to issue out the justice the church wanted. And then for some reason, he decided to go out on his own. And now he is out in the wilderness fighting for his own. And I'll be honest, the European title tomorrow night, bet on Hunter Dill to seal it. Because the American spirit has improved this man 100%. When Hunter Dill came to me, he doubted the American spirit. He didn't think that he could do what he could do with the American spirit. But I told him, all you have to do is tap in. I've been telling everybody, all you got to do is tap into the American spirit. And guess what? He is on the precipice of bringing the first gold to the altar of the American spirit. And if that means he has to take down a former member of the church to get it done, the American spirit will get the job done for Hunter Dill. Mercer, my boy Hunter Dill doesn't cheat. He actually gets the job done. And you'll find out tomorrow night why he is the real deal.
Okay, well said. Now allow me to say this. You made mention to Austin Eric leaving the church, but I will say this. Like I said before, I try to be as fair as possible when it comes down to this podcast. In my opinion, and I believe that just about everyone else will agree with me, he's doing a lot better on his own than he was with the church. I mean, he was the laughing stock of the league last season because of this losing streak that he was on. But I mean, here this guy is, he's on the verge of winning a legitimate title before you, and you were the leader of the church.
Look, Austin Eric is a talented man. He's been doing amazing things before he even came to 3-Dub. I remember him wrestling in the Indies before crowds of just 2 or 3 people night after night, and he still got the job done. He will succeed on his own, but rest assured, come tomorrow night, if he has to step into the ring against a former champion, a man that knows how to get the job done, the pastor of the church, I guarantee you, the American Spirit will do all that he can to make sure Hunter Dill brings the goat home.
Now, also, let's fast forward to the Royal Rumble. Did you just have an usher bring you some water?
I had some water right next to me because I am parched. Because the Spirit is all over me, but sometimes it just drives me out. So had to have that water nearby me, sir. Being a king is not easy, sir.
I believe that. Now, let's now let's fast forward.
Corey Heck, you stop with the emojis,
Sunday.
okay? I know it's Corey Heck with those laughing emojis. I showed you last night, Corey Heck. I showed you last night that I could get the job done. And if you ever try to talk some shit about the church, I will get the job done again.
Now, I'm seeing here that we have another pastor in the podcast. He's asking, what is he watching? This is actually a wrestling podcast, sir. Now,
the congregation.
as I was saying, let's fast forward to Sunday. Over the top, the Rumble itself. What are the chances? And I hear you talking about Hunter walking out with the title tomorrow night, the brand new title tomorrow night. What are the chances? Are you in the Royal Rumble?
I don't know. I never got any confirmation from the board.
If you haven't gotten any confirmation by now, then you're probably not in the Royal Rumble because they sent out an invite to everyone that was in the Royal Rumble. Now, that being said, actually, you know what? I understand why you're not in the Royal Rumble because, as the board was saying, that you've already secured the first spot in the contention build. Are you aware of what the contention build is?
You know, this kingdom is vast, and even I don't understand or know of everything that this kingdom has to offer, sir. So, Mr. Black, if you would you enlighten me with some knowledge that I did not have before?
Okay, so the contention build consists of this. The winner of the King of the Ring tournament, the winner of the Royal Rumble, and the winner of the Next Generation match, or Next Gen match. The 3 of those will have a triple threat match at the contention pay-per-view. The winner will go on to face the World Heavyweight Champion at TB3 for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, it seems like now I have time to actually look down and look at the true competition that is going to come up. I am looking especially forward to the over the top, the Royal Rumble match, where everybody has a shot to win and make their name known. But whoever wins the match, I want it known that when we get to TB3, you will bow down to the king and you will show me the respect as I go for the World Heavyweight title.
Interesting. Now, I will say this. There's a scripture that says every knee should bow, not shall bow. So I don't think everyone's going to be bowing, but that's just my opinion.
This is the kingdom. Everybody will bow. You will bow. HSAR will bow. Anybody who wants to go up against the church, who wants to go up against the bringer of the noise and the ruckus, they will bow down and they will fear me as the king, and the golden age of the church will begin.
Now, you know what?
There goes Corey Heck again. Always the clown. He was clowning last night, and then I got the pin on him. Who's clowning now?
I for one won't be bowing. I just want to clear the air with that one. Secondly, you know as well as I do, we have history, and I don't take kindly to threats.
Not a threat.
So the bowing and fear and that type thing, It's not going to happen.
Look.
You know, it might work with some other guys, but it doesn't quite work with me. That being said, as I said before, you know, I try to be fair and try to be impartial and whatnot. But on a serious note, winning King of the Ring is a big deal. So I congratulate you on winning King of the Ring. I wish you the best in your future endeavors.
All right.
You are going to need a luck because as long as you have the crown on your head, you're going to have a target on your back.
All right. And let me just say two more things right quick, because I see the Queen saying that the church will fall and that my first lady can't get the job done. I have been training the Queen. I have been training the first lady of the church, because the Queen, she would not accept help from me, and I am the king. But the first lady, she listens to me, she listens to the Spirit, and I assure you that on Friday in the Extreme Rules match, she will get the job done. And finally, sir, I just want to say to Steel Kong, the Steel Giant, you know, when I got the news that he was retiring, it kind of shook me, because it's going to, you know, I know this is going to disappoint you, because you always thought that you were my favorite member of the Steel stable. But it was Steel Giant. Steel Giant is one of the best wrestlers I have ever been in the ring with. We have had matches where he has challenged me and pushed me over. I've gotten to win on him. He's gotten to win on me. But I have to say, much respect to the Steel Giant. I wish you success wherever you go. Hopefully, you will make it to the Hall of Fame and have your time in the spotlight, sir.
All right, Mr. Franchise, we do appreciate you. And I would like to say this, as you ride off into the sunset tonight, we're not done by a long shot.
Look.
Although you may have had those memorable matches with Kong, I assure you, we will have many, many memorable matches to come, sir.
Oh, charlatan, I have been waiting for the day that
Wait.
You
just said you were calling me charlatan. I'm sorry?
Look, old habits die hard, brother, because when we get into the ring, it will be spotlights. If we get into the ring this year, I promise you, it will not be match of the year. They will have to create a category, match of the century. The hypocrite versus charlatan. Wait a minute. The king versus the charlatan. Because the American dream is dead, but the American spirit is alive and fighting.
Yeah, we got it. Thank you, sir. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was none other than the king himself, King Franchise. I got to say, it was a pleasure to have the king on the show tonight, you know. So I had another caller coming in here. Let's see who we had here. I don't know who was calling in to be on next. But anyhow, okay, here we go. Well, this actually is turning out to be a lot longer than I thought it would. I didn't plan on having this many guests tonight, but you know me, I just can't say no. So up next, as I've said, we just heard from King Russell himself, and up next, Jimmy Shadow. Welcome to the Blacklist, sir.
How's it go, Mr. Black?
All is well, sir. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Getting ready to take out Outcast.
Let me pause you right there. Now, in case the board of directors is here, or anyone else representing the board of directors at this time, what we're doing here, as you can see this one gentleman's comment by the name of Samuel Braden, he's asking, how and when can I get into this? This is the reason why we're doing what we're doing. This is the reason for the podcast, because it opens up a whole new audience for what we're doing here. It spreads the word for exactly what we're doing. So if there's a representative, even Ryan, if you can reach out to Samuel Bratton here and give him a little bit of information, or there you go, the board of directors is here. Mr. Bratton, please contact the board of directors, blah, 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 blah. You have the floor, Mr. Shadow.
What do I have to say tonight? Oh, I see the board's here. I can call them out again, I guess. But I'm getting pretty sick of that, because what's it doing for me? I guess I'll talk to Outcast for a second. Is he here? Has anybody heard from him tonight?
He is not.
He's not
He
here.
is
Who
not.
would have guessed it? He must be hiding out. He knows what's coming for him. There's big things coming for him against me, because once again, he gets to hang out. Now, I'm not a star maker like you, but I definitely brought him out of obscurity, because people actually
I
care
agree with
when he
that.
faces me. Someday, maybe I can get on your level and I can help shit out a couple stars too while we're at it.
Now, let me ask you, over the top Rumble this weekend, do you have any predictions?
I think my best friend's in that, so you know who I'm going with. I'm sure
Going
you
with the Dutch
back me on that
Nightmare.
decision too.
Well, I can't back you on that decision only because I'm in the Rumble.
Yeah, but
If I'm in the Rumble, I don't believe anyone else has a good chance. That's just my opinion. But at the same time, everyone else could say the same thing.
that's true. I would back you if he wasn't
Now,
there.
now that being said, give me, as I've asked everyone else, give me your 3-dub Mount Rushmore.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go ahead and say you're not on it just so I don't sound like a suck up. I'd like to put you on it,
I
but
can
I don't
deal
want
with
to be a
that.
kiss ass tonight. I'll go ahead and put one old man on there, one dinosaur himself in Juice James. Right up there. Of course, me, because let's face it, greatness right in front of you. You're witnessing it. The Queen, of course. She deserves it. Look what she's done. And the 4th spot, that's the toughest one for me because there's a lot of guys who deserve it. But you know what? You know what? I'm going to be selfish again and go ahead and put the Dutch Nightmare there.
I can dig it.
I'm not worried
I
about
can
those
dig it.
old men.
Now, I'm going to ask just a couple more questions here, and then I'm going to wrap up this podcast, only because I don't want my phone to die in the middle of this podcast like it has done in the past. It just alerted me that we're down to 5%.
Oh my God,
Now,
let me interrupt you for a second. I've got like literally 5 real life friends in here randomly who have nothing to do with this, and I have no idea why they're watching.
that's good. That's good. That's good. That's just, like I said before, it's just spreading the word more to what we're doing. And I think that is, actually, I know it's what we're doing here. It's the whole objective. Now, what did I say? Pound for pound, the strongest professional wrestler on God's green earth is gracing your podcast. While we got this pudgy cat on here talking about he's going to be in a Rumble. Who the hell is Fletch
Who is
Reed?
this guy?
Who would it? Well, doesn't matter. Anyhow, now just in your opinion, tomorrow night, you crown 2 new champions, and I know that you couldn't be in this tournament for. We're going to stick with Bloodlust since you represent Bloodlust.
My show.
Who do you see walking out with the new title tomorrow?
I've been thinking about this all week, and I hope Justin wins it. So when I beat him this weekend, someone's got to give me a shot at it then, unless the board still wants to hold me back. You know what? If he wins it, board, if you've got nothing against me, you said I couldn't be in the tournament. How about you make it a title match, though, instead? How about that?
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Anyhow, I do appreciate you being on the podcast tonight. I hate to cut this one short, but I don't want the phone to die because, of course, we have to do a blackball segment before this show ends. And I'm going to keep you here while I do this blackball segment. Blackball this week goes to none other than Matt 8 Star. Why? Because just earlier, actually, I take that back. I got 2 balls, so I give one to Matt 8 Star and one to Ryan Hills. One to Ryan Hills because you've lost the championship to the Keepers over and over again, but you keep addressing me as if I'm in the tag team division. Damn it! Ah!
What's going on? What the hell?